So here is my planner that I've always used over the last, I don't know how many years. It is a binder, it's a Filofax type binder. The brand name is Kalpa, because that is the brand name that my local bookstore carries. It is really good quality, really good big rings, you know. And it is real leather. It has these pockets and a loop for your pen. I never bought the inserts for this. I always just cut paper to size and punched my own holes in there for the binder. And I just used this cheap paper cutter. You know the kind, you can get them at any DIY, any craft store and any probably Dollar Tree type store. And I just use paper that I have laying around to cut to size. And it has not been working for me because I need room to write, and this is always somehow in my way, those rings. So even though I wanted to use this because I like the quality, I just haven't really. And I couldn't find sort of a system and what I wanted in there. So it just didn't work for me. And I use a Moleskine. Oh my god, Moleskine, Moleskine, whatever you call it. Planner, 18 month, large size. I would pay 23 something, 25, I don't know, euros for this. You know the kind. It has a, let me show you a clean page. See if I have any. You would have a week on one side and nothing on the other, which is great. Just that for me, during my weekends, I would have most of my stuff planned, and you get the least bit of space on there. And if I would write lists, which I do all the time, just information and lists on what to do on the other side, as soon as this week had passed, and I would flip over to the next week, I would forget about it because I never look back. And the paper quality, ink, it just leaks through. So it's just, I don't know, it's just not worth it. I think now. I always thought it was good quality. Now I know for the money, it's just not worth it. Okay, and I'm gonna explain why. Why did I repurchase the 18-month calendar over and over again for years? Because I have to plan from summer holiday to summer holiday. And grown-up planners always go from January 1st, as far as I know of anyway, to December 31st. And I need to plan for a school year because my son, I plan his whole year on if he's at my place or if he's at his father's place for a weekend and holiday time, things like that. And then I give that to my ex-husband, and there is no miscommunication, no argument there. So that has worked really well for the last, I don't know, 8 years or so. So I buy 18-month calendar so I can plan from June of one year all the way up to August of the next year. So which means from the 18 months I use 12, 13 months, and then I buy a new one. And then it's garbage. It's in the trash. So I saw the video on DIY planning by Vassar Beauty. I'm gonna see if I can link that down below in the description box. I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm not gonna make any real promises. I'm gonna try. Otherwise, just look her up. Vassar Beauty. And she just uploaded it this week, the DIY planner. So go check that out because she inspired me enormously. So now this, for me, I'm never going to use this again because I found something else and I'm going to show you. It is this. Yes. And I am loving this. I paid a whopping €3 for this. Okay? There are even cheaper ones, but the paper is like this. It's the white, really cheap paper, you know, that you get from these sort of notepads kind of paper. And that is just too cheap and too flimsy for me. I don't like that. This has the nice yellow, kind of creamy paper with very white lines, which I need because I have big handwriting. I need space to scribble, you know. So in a year time, this is going to be trash, and I'm fine with it. I paid €3 for this. Now, if I compare this. If I compare this to the Moleskine notebook paper, and I compare it to this, it is the same quality. If not, this is better. It is a little bit thicker and slightly bit more yellow. I don't know if the camera picks up on that. The leaking from the ink from one side to the other, because I use those fine liner Sharpie kind of pens. I don't know, it is the same. I think Moleskine is even a little bit worse. You know, I would buy these packs of 3 Cahiers, whatever you call it. And yeah, I don't know. It's the same, and it's for €3. I have this. So don't buy the very cheap stuff. Well, for me anyway. I do want a little bit of quality. So I've spent €3 and 1 afternoon making this sort of calendar with all the months going from June 2016 up to August 2017. That's summer holiday to summer holiday. And I can plan out where my son's at, when, where, you know what I mean. And then it starts my weekly calendar, which is just 4 weeks on a spreadsheet. That's 2 weeks per page. And I have given the least amount of space to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I've given most of the space to my Saturdays and Sundays. And I use these color code kind of sticky things. They come in a pack like this for a couple of cents. And I use pink one when my son's at my place, and the blue one when my son is at his father's place, because his father's a boy and I'm a girl. So, as you can see, these weeks he's at my place. And then school starts again. So, and I still have to plan out all the weekends where he's at and when and why, and you know what I mean. I have a designated place for all my to-do list. I love the bullet journaling, the bullet planning, whatever they call it, I don't know. I have my evening cleaning routine, and I do my DIY to-do list right there. I love it. I have YouTube now in here, and before I would have a notebook on every single aspect of my life. Financial stuff, my business that I'm doing, some journaling, things like that, general information. I would always lose that stuff. I would just use a couple of pages for the info, and it's just not worth it. Now I have it all in one place, one beautiful place. So all my YouTube ideas can go in here. I have some financial stuff I need to keep track of, some general information to keep track of. For my mom, now for example, she called me, she said, please, can you help me trying to calculate how many square meters of tiles I need for my new house, for the bathroom and the toilet. So I did that, and it's here forever. Well, for a year at least, and then I throw it away. I have some for my business. I need to still, you know, write this down, the lessons and some individual lessons that I'm going to give to people. I just, you know, give a couple of pages, and then I've made a new tab. And I just used these simple, Post-its that I've cut into thirds, and just used your, you know, all-purpose tape to sort of laminate it. So, cannot get easier and cheaper than that. And that's it. Here I can just write down quotes and thoughts and just personal stuff. And then in the back I've cut up a big envelope and a smaller envelope just to make some pockets for some loose papers that I need to still look at from time to time. So that's it, and then it's done. And in a year's time, this will be trash, and I'll be fine with it. I've only spent €3, and it is completely custom made. So I strongly advise you to do this if you like papers like me, like writing and list making, things like that. If you have different things going on in your life, try this. Give this a try. Give my video a thumbs up if you like this idea. If you like my result, go check out Vezzer Beauty's video on the DIY planner, and I will wish you a good rest of the week. Bye!